So today I did the unthinkable. It's probably an unforgivable offense. Um, kind of afraid to share this. Some of you may never forgive me. I ordered myself some strings, some classical guitar strings on Amazon, and they arrived. And I want to open them right here on camera. Yeah. So I ordered me some classical guitar strings. Here's my package, and these are not D'Addario strings. Imagine that. I ordered I ordered me some Savarez classical guitar strings. Now, as long as I can remember, I've always used D'Addario strings for all of my guitars, at least since my college years back in the early 90s. I've used different brands at different times to try out, but for some reason I always returned to the the good old faithful D'Addario EJ45. That's my go-to string, and my guitar professor gave me different brands to try. Like his favorite brand at the time was Hanebach. Those are awesome strings, by the way. But for some reason, I always returned to the EJ45, the medium tension from D'Addario, and here I am, uh, 20, 30 years later, and still using the same brand, the same gauge, the same tension, the EJ45 uh, classical strings from D'Addario. Well, this weekend I did the unthinkable, unforgivable offense, I guess. And I stepped out of the D'Addario bubble and ordered myself on purpose some strings that are not D'Addario, and I got me some Savarez. I got two sets. I'll tell you in a second why. Um, I got me some Savarez New Crystal Corum. These are the 500 CJ hard tension strings. Why did I do this? Well, some of you know that I recently purchased a Cordoba F7 Paco classical guitar, and I'm enjoying that instrument very much. And I also own a C7 classical guitar from Cordoba. Those are different models. It's the same model, but different versions of the same model. The C7 is a classical model with a nice dark sound, and the F7 is the flamenco model with a more bright, um, brittle kind of a sound. And the F7 Paco is kind of a hybrid between the two. That's a kind of a new model that Cordoba came up with, and I have a couple of videos with it. I'll place a link um, with for the video where I review the instrument, where I open the instrument up. I bought it from somebody, but it was barely used, so it's basically brand new. It's a hybrid because it's a flamenco setup on the instrument with a very straight neck, but the woods in it are not your typical flamenco guitar woods. You have a rosewood, Indian rosewood back and sides, and a cedar top. So that's quite unusual for a flamenco guitar, and that's I believe Paco de Lucia had a guitar like that. So Cordoba um, made this model to honor Paco de Lucia. So it's called the Cordoba F7 Paco model. So, anyways, I was playing that guitar for a while and I was thinking, these strings feel very good. I like them a lot. And I was thinking they're probably not D'Addarios because they don't feel like D'Addarios. After playing D'Addarios for so many years, I can tell if they're D'Addarios or not. And I could tell that they were not D'Addarios. So then I started, trying to figure out what model strings are these from the factory because the guitar was brand new. So I was certain the strings were the original strings that luthier put on when they finished building the instrument. So I inquired with the company, Cordoba, and they never replied. So that's fine. So then I inquired with some other guitar teachers and guitar players that um, know people that know people. So finally, I found out that uh, at the Cordoba factory, they fit the C7 and the F7 guitars with the new Crystal Corum Savarez the 500 CJ, which is the high tension. So I bought myself two sets. I'll place links for this at the bottom, like Amazon links at the bottom as well. Um, Now, because I own a C7 and an F7, I wanted to put these on both guitars and then compare. It'll be fun to do maybe a comparison video at some point to compare the C7 to the F7 Paco to begin with. And for that kind of video to work well as a comparison, it would be preferable that you use the same strings on each guitar. So that's what I did. So, all joking aside about committing unforgivable offense, I am a D'Addario person. I'm not sponsored in any way by D'Addario or any company really, but I've been using D'Addario for years. And for the first time in a long time, I, on purpose, purchased a different brand to try. And who knows, maybe I'll end up using Savarez strings on my Cordoba guitars regularly because, come to think of it, if the manufacturer who builds the instrument, if they think that this is the best string for the instrument, I would probably go with that and use the same brand that the luthier put on. They do feel really good on that F7 Paco that I have, and yeah, so that's my offense for today. I bought me the Savarez New Crystal Corum 500 CJ high tension, two sets. I'm gonna put these on both guitars, then let them stretch for a day or two. Maybe I'll start playing some music on them, and I'm looking forward to making a comparison video to compare the C7 to the F7 Paco. That's kind of an interesting video for me to do because if I were to compare the C7 to the F7, the differences would be quite evident, obvious, because the F7, the pure flamenco guitar, is going to sound very different from the start. It's a brighter guitar, brighter sound, more nasal, more like in-your-face type of sound. But the Paco is a hybrid between the two, so it'll be very interesting to compare the two. I'll tell you right now that my favorite thing about the F7 Paco is the comfort that you get from playing it, because it has a flamenco setup without getting the bright nasal flamenco sound. So I like that a lot. So anyways, here's my purchase for today. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to write them at the bottom. Also, if you're not subscribed to my channel, feel free to subscribe. Thank you so much for that. Give this video a thumbs up when you get a chance, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye now.